In a recent video here on the channel, I introduced the concept of TranZending, which is a Zentangle term to describe the layering of one pattern on top of another to create a particular effect. Today I want to look at a different way of layering a tangle by using the same tangle twice in a simple over and under way, and it really creates an interesting dimensional effect. So let's jump right in. We're going to be using the Tangle Florz. Start with the 4 corner dots because we want to leave a little border around this. So we'll use the traditional Zentangle starting point with the 4 corner dots and the 4 border lines. Now that we have that, let's turn the tile diagonally and we're going to draw a basic grid pattern. So from corner to corner, we'll just draw a simple line. And here, I'll zoom in so we can get a little better effect along the way. And then we're going to go about halfway over and draw a parallel straight line. And it looks like about there. Just like that. Now rotate the tile and we're going to draw the same grid, in essence, in the other direction. Okay. Now on the pattern Florz, wherever we see intersecting lines, we're going to create a little diamond shape. Just like that. And then we'll just ink that in. And wherever those lines intersect, that's where we're going to draw that diamond shape. Now, if your lines go off the grid, so to speak, or off the page, then just fill in what you would see of that diamond and let the imagination do the rest. Alright, that is basically the Florz pattern in a nutshell, but we're going to do a slight variation on it as the second part here. We're going to create auras inside these individual areas by simply tracing a parallel line and following those existing lines. And you might want to turn your tile as much as necessary to make that a little easier. But just follow the pattern and draw parallel auras on the inside of each of these open spaces that we created with the original Florz pattern. And we'll just continue that process until the whole tile is done. So now we've laid down the basic pattern, and we've created these auras within it. So now the layering comes in by creating another version of Florz, the same tangle pattern, directly behind and underneath this pattern. So we'll draw, in this case, a vertical line that goes right down the middle of the existing pattern. And we're doing the drawing behind technique, right? We're just drawing underneath and imagining where that line would go. Once we've got that all done, let's do it in the same way in the opposite direction so that we're going to cross over roughly in the center of each of these opened areas that we've already created by drawing the original pattern. Now once we have that done, we want to create the same little diamond shapes in each of those newly created intersections. Now, once we have that, we've now already layered this pattern, but we want to do the same sort of inside line on this new one. But because it's in a different spot, we have to do it differently and make it look as though it goes off behind those existing lines. So I'm just creating that same process, following the newly created pattern, but going underneath the existing one. So now we've got a very layered and might even feel confusing pattern, but we're going to enhance this a little bit by creating some shadows with graphite. So everywhere these lines go underneath other lines, or appear to, we're going to create a line of graphite there that we can blend with the tortillon and make a little shadow that will really enhance the over and under appearance of this layering effect. Each of those little lines we created becomes a little shadow that helps convince the eye that there's something over and under there. It's a very simple application of this technique, but I just wanted to show you another way that layering tangles and patterns can really enhance a drawing or give you some really fun effects. Now we can also add, let's do a drop shadow on this one. So we'll put a little border of graphite around the outside of our drawing. And let's blend that outward into the white area of the tile. And depending on the composition and the specific type of drawing you're doing, shadows can really have a huge impact on how it looks. So now, if I zoom out a little bit here, just so you can see that, that gives the eye the impression that our drawing area is above the paper. Now I've got another one here that I did a little different, same idea, but this one I blended the outward, or the shadow here on the outside, I blended it inward, and it makes that this drawing area looks like it's recessed down within the paper, or even, depending if your eye sees it or not, the effect can create what I call a pillowing effect that makes this look like it's puffed up higher in the middle than it is on the edge here. And then one additional way that I've shaded one of the, or not shaded, but inked it and shaded it, is by adding, whoops, I got off my camera there, adding the dark shadow. So every area that was white here, I inked it in and created this sort of appearance. Now, I personally, in my eye, I think this one more powerfully conveys the effect of layering and over and under. But you can see you do get the same effect from all three examples. And we saw how to draw this. So the only difference on this one, for example, is that all of these areas in the background were inked in black on this one. But I still use the same shading across those background pieces. Now, I personally prefer the way this one looks, but that's just up to the eye of the beholder, as the old saying goes. But that is a really fun way, and you can experiment with it with different tangles, different patterns, and you can come up with some different ideas of layering the same tangle right over the top of another tangle to fill a given area. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little foray into Zentangle drawing today, and I look forward to seeing everyone back again real soon here in the Tangles and Tunes channel. Thank you. Take care now. Bye-bye.